what you are seeing on the screen is the what? An hourly chart. But if you want us to look at it at 45 minutes, we can equally look at 45 minutes chart before I go for that 1 a day chart. This is our 45 minutes chart, and I will tell you that it's almost the same with the 1 hour chart, but it tells you that yes, here I've added additional 2 moving average to the first one that we're using. But today we're using a 7 days moving average as the blue one. The red one is 20 days moving average, while the black one is the 40 days moving average. And down here we are seeing the MACD, which is called move average divergent, and what and provided that is the MACD. Then the last one we are considering today is also the money flow index, that is MFI. These are the indicators we are going to use to guide us on what the market is doing on this hour, and that's also going to guide your decision as a trader in the market or investor, depending on the category you belong to. But here, if you look at the all share index that measure the general market performance in any market, or the index is for you to know exactly where the market is going. If you look at it on a 45-minute chart, you can see that the index, what we call the index action or call it price action, we call it index action, is has already crossed the 2 short moving average, the 7 days and the 20-day moving average on what? On 45 minutes chart. You can see, but if you come down here, if you look at this MACD is already also turning up on what? On that 45 minutes chart. It tells you that the market today, yes, market is on a slight green this morning, this hour, but don't forget that the midday traders, we call them afternoon traders, they are not yet in the market. When they come, you might see more of the market direction. But I want to just guide you before we go into details of the market as it is this hour. You can see this blue line here, it's almost turning up. So you can see it very well from where it is a sign that the market might also bounce back heavily at the end of the day or close in a positive trend, depending on the activities of the afternoon traders between now and the hour of 2:30. But if you come down here, look at your moving average, your money flow index, you can see that it's also looking up around the 47 and on 45 minutes chart. But I want to quickly go to 1 hour before we now come back to a day. That day we'll now go and see what the market is doing proper at this hour, that we know exactly what to do from here. But also on hourly charts, we also see that the the NGS index action is still resting on almost close to the 40 days moving average. But I tell you that it's still far to touch that, because on hourly basis also it has crossed the 20 days average marginally down. Then we want to go to exactly the 1 day, a day chart or a day time frame. This is the day time frame. You can see it very well now. I think it's one clearer here. When you see that at this point where the 3 moving average cross each other, you can see that the share index, or call it NGS index action, is trading above the shortest moving average. You can see it here. It's a sign that the market is still very strong as we speak. But if you look at the 3 days pullback here, you can see this 3 red candlestick, but very marginal until they break out the big one here, the big candlestick here, that is that at the end of on that is on Friday, Thursday gain for last week. Once they're able to cover up what the market gain that day, before we now say yes, it's going to break the first support level. But yet it has not touched the strong support level. Once it break that 46,000, 46,900 and 900 and 987.85, before we now see the market has really broken the first strong support level. As we speak now, market is just resting on the blue line, which is at the 7 days moving average. Tells that the market is still very strong and healthy, but it's already a pullback. I said yesterday that market has confirmed change in trend and change in direction. We are seeing a pullback, and it's expected anywhere where we have seen an uptrend for almost I just said yesterday 6 weeks. But you can look at here that if you come down, you go to your moving MACD. MACD have confirmed that the market is already crossing down, because you see the share index, the NGS index is also looking down here, and it's also the blue line is crossing the red one at this point, and this is very good bearish sign. And also, but if you look at the MACD, they will call a signal line that this histogram of, can see that it has crossed, it's almost crossing down on a day chart, that to show that the market is, on a bearish drive now, on a bearish drive, that you should not panic. Yes, you know that there are some factors that brought this market up. Those factors are still intact. And as we speak now, oil price has hit $94, and the earnings are on the way. I believe before the weekend or the upper week proper, we'll see more of these earnings that will also change the face of the market. For me, even when the market closed a bit down this week, we should not send out a panic at all, because after 6 weeks of uptrend, market might also come down for this week. The way it's going for almost 3 trading days now, for this week, we are seeing that market is still, on the bearish move, except this morning we are seeing that it has opened on a green light. We'll see that, let's see, was already expecting the afternoon traders to come into the market and play their game and change the market direction. And also, before I go further, I want to quickly look at the state of the market as we speak now. And I'll start with the top trades. The top trade as we speak now. I say that I'll tell you that the what we call the sovereign trust insurance company is leading the top trade with high volume, followed by Fidelity Bank, Access Bank, and the Transcorp and GT Code. I said GT Code has remained on the top trade for a while. You ask yourself why. You can say the recent news of acquisition has also supported GT Code. As yesterday, as we were discussing in the afternoon, you can see that it tried to resist decline, and also by the end of the day, it just lost marginally. For this information, I tell you that GT Code, with acquisition of all these additional companies to be under their holding company, is a plus for them going into the future. But for now, the market is still waiting for their numbers for 2021. I know that they are among the ones that will release before the end of trading on the 1st of March. That means we expect this result to come. That also add more. Also the same for Access and for Fidelity. The top decliner as we speak now. I'll tell you, we're having a 5 top decliner. Out of the 5, market have recorded about 9 losers, but the top ones are Julie Pharmacy, Multiverse, the same Sovereign Trust Insurance, and the ICO and UPDC Trust. These are the ones that are the top losers at this point. Why the advancers for this afternoon is ROTP School. I will tell you that in the last few weeks, we have seen this Kobo stock, especially this company that for a while we have not seen results. Just appear and we see price going up on, because it's a Kobo stock, gaining 2 Kobo, 3 Kobo, and make it 10% every day. Yes, it's a good one, but I also want to advise, if you are there already, fine, you can watch, but for you to jump into this kind of stuff, you have not seen numbers, you have not seen anything, you have to be very careful, unless you have information that we don't have. Yes, but if not, I would advise you should stay away from this stuff for now, despite the price is rallying. And also, don't forget that if anything is happening, we don't expect you now investor to jump into this kind of stock at this price. And also, that tells you that the sustain of this uptrend, it might not last for too long. For that, if you are there, you have made money, you have made 20%, 30%, fine. But if you're a long-term investor that you are in that stock before now, that has taken you from all the way when it declined to about that's critical, you are still holding. Yes, you can still watch. Then the next one there is Academic Press, Sako, FTN Coco, and Len Africa. You can see two publishing company being at the top gainers for this hour. Tells you that also people are looking at their Q3 numbers that were released in the market. You see there's improvement, and also don't forget that as we are entering to this entry to the new quarter by the end of March, we expect that will be the time for their audited account to be in the market. But don't forget that they have this is a seasonal sector that their books are sold in advance. But I can still put in a positive number, tells you that something good is happening in those companies that will guide you. But all this kind of company, what we look at is their payout. But for me, if you are in Academic Press, it's time for you to take profit. Don't be greedy. Don't be carried away with the direction we are seeing the price of Academic Press. You can take profit and look for it. Since it's not a December account, you can go to the December account to take your dividend with what you have made here, that waiting there and start coming down. Or the time you want to exit, there's nobody picking the stock at that time. That is why you need to allow your goal and also your stop loss at all times to guide you. Yes, we have seen the volatility in the market also increasing. In this last day of trading, this the last 3 days, increasing seriously. But when you see volatility in this manner, you don't need to fear. What thinking that you become conscious of your stop loss, because volatility comes with a heavy risk. That risk is what you should also mitigate. And don't be emotion when you are trading stock. No, remove emotion from your decision. It's very, very key. Take the time to remove emotion. Let your that stop loss guide you. And if you are make profit, because every position you are taking, you already have what profit target on it. That's why those buyers signal invest data. They see when they log in, they see their buy range, they see their stop loss, they see the target profit, and why they are buying. And when it is time for sale, you also get the alert. That's where you should also put your investment goal. Have a goal. A goal, that kind of goal will tell you the kind of stock that will suit your goal, the kind of sector that you should go in. It depends. But if you're a trader, the kind of what to attract me will not going to attract what to investor. That means do not just follow another person to follow what is buying. No. Everybody has different goal why they are in the market and different objectives. For that, let your objectives tell the kind of sector, the kind of stock you buy. But your buy range, your stop loss, your profit target should come. Like I said earlier, if you have made decision and you have gained, you have gained all this while. That should also guide you to know exactly the kind of strategy you are adopt. If you have lost money also, you know why you have lost money in some positions. Those attitude or those decisions you make, you repeat them again. But the ones you have made profit, you try to refine them, improve on them. As you improve on them, that will also guide you on how to make your future decision. That's why we need to also know all this before we round up the for this session. But another thing is that if you look at the gainers for today, you see that total for today are even higher than what we saw yesterday at this hour. Yesterday we were only having about 4 gainers, but today we're having about 15 gainers today against 9 losers. They say that the market breadth at this afternoon is still positive, and you can see that there are some big names in that among the gainers that if their gains increase, like yesterday we were surprised that when we were discussing, name was on the red on the red side, the losers, but before the market closed also was on the gainer side. Also the same thing applies to Owando. But today we are seeing that among the top the gainers for this hour, the 15 gainers, we are seeing GT Code there, we are seeing Las Vegas, we are seeing Waco, we are seeing uh, Zenith Bank, and UBN and fixing. I'll tell you, UBN, I know that investors and UBN or traders are still waiting for more information, and that is why you need, if you are not ready, you don't need to panic out. You need to wait for information that will come from the recent merger that will give more strength to where the price is going. And also don't forget that we have not seen their unaudited account for 2021. If it comes again or with a impressive number, or they maintain their 2025 cocoa they have paid for the last 2 years, if that is maintained, with this news of the merger, the acquisition that just happened, that should also add more momentum to the stock. But before we go into individual chart to look at them, especially Access and Fidelity, we want to look at their chart. We want to quickly paraphrase is something that should also guide you. Don't forget that in equity investment, that most time price can be factored into the future. For example, as we're expecting the earnings or the corporate action of these companies, the price have rallied to this level, crossed 47 and start coming down. Also, don't forget that when results start hitting the market, the possibility that either they will also continue pull back because people have factored this price and they are seeing result, they are selling and taking their profit, or as start hitting the result, market start hitting the result, you see that people are still jumping in. That is why if you look at the report I just read yesterday about the pension fund increasing their stake in the equity market, which is good. But this pension fund, don't forget that they are long-term investor. If they are not going to sell after taking their position for them, but mark you that today is also is the option, the primary option for TB. We don't know how it's going to be at about 90 billion offer. Don't know the rate, but at the end of the day, if it drop again, I will tell you that the market will revive definitely by next week, because that will move more for because of the low attraction in in the treasury bill market. Yes, they are exposed to that level to a level because of they want to manage their risk. But I'm telling you, they also want to make gain for the account they are managing. They want to generate return for the account holders they are managing. The PFA will not just hold on to those low yield environment stock or instrument alone. That means now that we're seeing most of the listed company that their average dividend yield is above almost 5.8 which is more than what we are seeing even in the treasury bill market or the fixed income market, even with the bond because of inflation. We expect that funds will still come to this equity market, but don't be carried away. That's why I'm giving these two scenarios. That it's possible that the earnings we're expecting or the competition we're expecting have been factored into the market, and also it's possible that there are some also good investors that are waiting to see those declaration to start jumping in. That's why we don't want anything to to take you unaware. You have to prepare yourself. Your stop loss should be, at the top of your mind, that this is the price I want to exit. This is my stop loss, so that if the market go the other way, you can easily jump out. But if as a result are coming to the market, you see new entrants and new fund coming to the market, that will keep the market up. There is possible that the market will touch even 50,000 mark of 48 before the earnings season finish. For me, this is not the time to panic. If you're already in good stocks, like I said, I told you that the top gainers were giving you, but I said the weak names that are there are Waco. And you know that Waco for me in that sector is also undervalued stock. That means if you are in some stock that you know that the earnings can support them to grow their payout, you don't need to panic at all, but rather hold your position and see where the market is going from there. Once this is done, you don't need to panic. And you can see what is playing out here, that the market is already resting on the 7 days moving average on a daily one. Let's quickly look at the weekly chart. I want to see another position again because it's very important. Let's see where it's going. Yes, on a weekly chart, you can see that the the MACD is also looking up. That is still strong. Why we are looking at the weekly is to tell you where the market is, but daily is one that gives you faster information. Hour give you the most current one, and 45 minutes, so that you know. But now we have seen the 45 minutes, we have seen the daily on the market, we have seen the 1 day. We are now looking at the weekly. On the weekly chart, the market is still very, very strong. Above the 7 days moving average, 20 days, and 40 days moving average. Good one for the market. As like I just said earlier, I can see where the three no moving average cross each other. You can see that the index actions are above. So it's a strong rally. When it come and kind of a trend here, before it break out, the 3 day the three moving average up, and it's trading above the three no moving average. Tell you on a weekly chart, the market is highly strong. For me, you don't need to panic at all. Let's quickly look at the banking index. Don't forget that yesterday the bank suffered a little pullback on their index. But for now, we look at that banking index, and look at the fidelity, access, and the GT code performance. Then, if time permit us, we'll go and look at what the Transcorp to see how they're doing. You know that the sovereign trust insurance is already also on the losing chart. Yes, we know that stocks have been on a high volume this day, either on the sell move or a Bible, but now it has been on the sell move, the top end and with the volume at the same time declining. But I'll tell you that this time that insurance stocks are very penny stock, most traders or investors in this kind of stock are selling off their position to enter those dividend paying stocks that at the end they come to back to insurance, because there are also some potential news for insurance that we know that our insurance has no potential to rally. But not now that we're in any season. You as a trader or investor, you should know what you need and what you want in the market. If you know what you want and what you need, if you know how to invest in this market, those insurance stocks that you know that you're getting dividend there. Yes, capital appreciation is also not guaranteed. You can go to where you can take dividend for investors and come back again when those information that we're expecting that will influence this sector start coming out. That will also going to guide you in the nearest future. Yes, quick one. Let's just go to the banking index to look at how the banking index it's faring before we enter the we enter Access Bank, and let's look at the banking index. Let's see how the banking sector index is faring. Okay. Yes, I believe you can see here. You can see the banking index here. This is the chart for the banking index. I will tell you the banking index also forming a double top here already, and this double top also support what a pullback. But if there is a breakout on this a 1 day chart to here, this I see that the index for the banking sector is has already formed what a double top here. Tells you that depends on the outcome of the result perspective. Those big names who have in the banking sector, despite the first tier banks, their outcome, the performance, and also their corporate action will determine whether there will be a breakout here. That's why I say we want to see it. You can see that even on a day chart, transform a strong support resistance level here, double top. I know when we mention double top in technical analysis, there is that the possibility of a breakout is there, and also a reversal is here. As I said, it depends on the numbers that will come from this sector, especially in the coming week. And also, if you come down here and look at the volume in that sector, I see that it at volume now is still below average. Tell you that investors are still watching to see this number. That's why you are not seeing volume, in that more position in that sector, but people are holding. They are not selling. You can see that these are green position. You can see what we're seeing here. That index is still green as we speak this hour. Tell you that yes, the investors in the banking sector are really chilling out there, holding to see the number. And don't forget, I mentioned yesterday that this sector is the most consistent sector in terms of dividend payout. I knew that we're already in any season, and any season that's associated with what more of dividends, especially when it comes to this period in any season where you see the end of the year for the previous year result, it comes with what a lot of reward. And few companies that pay dividend, it's also the period they pay their final. Bringing us together, activities in this period between now and the end of March are always high in our market because of this earnings season. And it is this banking sector that really drive the earnings season in terms of payout because they are consistent in rewarding their shareholder, and they pay good. Most of them pay pay more than 50 to 52, 54% of their earnings as dividend. If that is maintained, what we are seeing, in after their third quarter, because most of them have not released their unaudited, we are coming with their full number, we can predict that we're going to see either a marginal growth in this banking, the big names, or they see a flat dividend they pay in 2020, depending on the board of these banks. But I'm telling you, most of them or few of them might grow their dividend little, just also to say thanks to their shareholders for having confidence, their stakeholders for having confidence in them, despite the challenges, and they are still there. For that, they might reward the investor with little. But for other industries like the healthcare, I will tell you the healthcare, you can see, even in a mature economy, you can see that the health sector has also already bounced back heavily because of what the sales they have made in the sale of COVID-19 vaccine, especially GSK in advanced country. That's why they have it here in Nigeria as a part of them. I see that the results that are coming from GSK International is very, very impressive, especially from Europe and all that. Tell you that this period we expect that the healthcare sector also should come with their results. Food fixing has also shown us a sign in that regard. And that's why I said if you are in fixing, it is time for you to hold that position. You don't need to panic because I see that what happened in Vital Food will likely repeat itself. For those that are income investors, you know that they paid you 25 kobo in the previous year, and now they are having an per shop of 1 naira 48 kobo, which I've mentioned earlier before. Now, if you are there, this will also guide you that if you are income investor, you put your position, they might grow their dividend with more than what 100% because they made a no 148 this previous year 2021. The other year they paid 25 kobo, they made about 58 naira 20 kobo. Sorry, that alone to give you what you expect. Also, we're saying what was saying in me and Baker, it's not a bad result, but that is flat. Okay, they paid you 30 kobo the previous year. They are likely also to pay you 40 kobo from their almost 59 kobo any per share, or pay you 35 kobo. No, this is what will guide you as an investor that are looking for dividend. But for trader, are looking at what to put the price of. For me, with the earnings, the dividend we're expecting from fixing, for that fixing will cross 9 naira is high. But when it comes to and they are paying good dividend with their price, if they start to pay 1 naira and the stock that's selling below 10 naira, you should know where it's going. For that, let's also pull our position and watch the market very well. Let's quickly go to Access Bank, as we said earlier. This is for the index for the industry. You can see that the industry, the index is still very, very strong. But despite I had formed a double top, that top I tell you earlier, whether for a breakout or a pullback. It's possible that when the earnings come to the market and they beat market expectation in terms of no declaration, in terms of corporate action, we might see the price of this banking stock going up. Yes, you can see today we're looking at access. Let's call access chart up again to look at what is happening access. Access seems to be flat today. We're not seeing activities much in access today, but let's take time and look at what is happening there. But that will go a long way to guide us. But I believe if you are in access, you are in the right stock. Don't need to panic. But we need to know the state of the bank at this hour of the trading to know whether we can still accumulate more or wait for the numbers. But access has broken out the 10 naira resistance for a while. Now it's always 10 around a touch as high as that 10 naira 35 to go before pulling back to around this price we are seeing. For me, you don't need to panic if you are in access. Rather, just to hold your position and see how it goes. Access is very much in order. We're waiting for the chart of access to come up. Let's see the chart of access. Once it comes up now, you can now look at the waiting for the chart of access to come up. Once it comes up now, look at where the bank is. Like I told you earlier, access for me, yes, access is not doing badly. It's not doing badly. This access starts, and you can see that for me, access is called a form what we call a flag. Flag in the sense that let me draw a simple line for you here to see what we call a flag. This flag is also either a bullish flag or a bearish flag. I will tell you, for me, this is almost like a bullish flag that we are seeing in access now. So at this hour, tells you where access is going from here. As a as a, as a trader, you can see it's forming a bullish flag here now. Bullish flag here. That is what the stock is forming at this point. This is what we call a bullish flag. This bullish flag is the breakout here. No, tell you well, I can see that access has even touched as high as 13 1043 before it pull back. I see this black line here to tell you that this is like a week up. Then for me, access is very strong. If you are in access, just to hold your position and see their number because it has broken different resistance here before you now see this move. I tell you that the bank is going somewhere. Don't forget that the bank has consolidated for almost this wide before it break out. Came here up again, came down for rebounding and can see the trend. I'll tell you the numbers that come from access, they are not weak numbers, they are very strong numbers that will support their price at any time. And don't forget that this is a bank that is building capacity. And when we are building capacity, with time to start reflecting on your bottom line. And on the top line, you can see that they are becoming like a leader in the sector already. If that is sustained, this is a bank that will also be looking at what they're going to enjoy what ETI is likely to enjoy in Africa. The Access and UBA will do that. And I told you earlier on another program, another of our program that with this recent pass for the African trade free zone, it's going to rub up on all the banks that are having a branch in Africa. I tell you, Access has branched out to almost like 4 African countries now. Gradually, they are coming up. Then UBA is there for in less than the 20 or 23 to 24 African country. Then ETI about like 52. You see how this is going to play out. No, like I said earlier, that when we are doing into e-commerce, this transaction, you make a lot of money. That's why even CPN trying to like reduce charges from bank because they know banks are making money and all those ones. But yes, we're still complaining that the costs were invested there. We're also telling you that those that are depositing money, they also want to gain from not spending much in the depositing their money. That's why I see CPN trying to do, but that will not affect the banks because the banks also have way of printing money. Once interest is back up a little, before the year runs out, the bank also benefit from it. For me, let's see where the banks are going. But the numbers of this bank determine. You see how the index for the sector have shown us that it's at just at a good double top. They are waiting for a breakout, and that breakout will come when the numbers or the corporate action beat expectation. So then, for individual banks in that sector, that will guide you that they are nearly up, but you can see how the index for the sector has performed. Give an insight that some of the banks also have the same pattern we have seen in that index. For me, this is the right time for us to hold our position in this banking stock. It's not the time for us to panic that we're running away. But a quick one before we close for the day, I want to quickly look at Fidelity. Let's see what happened in Fidelity before we round up to this section because we have tomorrow to discuss. But let's look at what is happening in Fidelity Bank. If we know what's happening in Fidelity Bank, that will also give us an idea. If really for those second tier banks, we have to look at the first tier banks, look at what is happening in first tier bank, and to see the second tier banks and see what is also investors are likely to see in those banks. Because now this Fidelity, I want to call up the chart of Fidelity for us to look at. Fidelity is already in green today, in about 0.35. For me, it's not a bad one. It's a good one for Fidelity. Fidelity is another. Fidelity is another. Fidelity is another. That means yes, you can see Fidelity on a daily time frame. Still looking up. Well, let's quick one. Let's just look at the daily, the 1 hour chart of Fidelity to see where it's going. If it's good, if it's gaining, you can see that Fidelity is on a green chart. Fidelity is on a green chart. Then once we are done on this Fidelity, we will continue next time next meeting by tomorrow by God's grace. But for us, you can see that Fidelity is on a green chart, on a green candlestick. For me, it's a good one. You can see that the stock has already tried to break out from this consolidation level from here to here. That means Fidelity has a good one. You also look at it down, you can see that volume is here on Fidelity. Strong volume for me as to speak now. Even as it's gaining today, you can see that the volume is high. This is how we round up for today. Yes, thank you. Call your friends, call your relatives, all around you, your office, to join us at this just 30 minutes live class for us to know what is happening in the market, also to guide us. See you tomorrow, and God bless you all.